Look at that, man. How are you gonna beat that? Does it get any better than that right there? Right there. That's looking all right. That's looking all right. Oh, still moving fast. There we go, dude. I don't know how it gets better. Speed trolling, up shallow, Mississippi River, smoking those little reef too. Welcome back to another video. It's a beautiful day. And where are we? What are we doing? We're on the Mississippi River. I cannot describe to you guys how much I love this boat. Doesn't look that windy here, but the way we came out of the river, a lot of wind coming in right to the mouth, current back rolling. If you run a lot of big water or river systems, you know that is the worst possible conditions to run in. This boat, trim tabs down, just floats at 40 miles an hour. It's just like the waves don't even exist. Absolutely unbelievable. But where are we? What are we doing? Today we are on the Mississippi River. It's early summer, and today we're going to showcase one of my favorite patterns. If you're a weird fish head like me, you like weird patterns that's like not like the normal. It's not like a jig and a minnow on a sand flat in spring. You like doing these cool patterns that are kind of nichey, and that's one of these things that we're going to do today and catch just an absolute pile of walleyes doing it. So what are we doing? I guess we'll kind of walk you guys through that a little bit here as we're just kind of getting set up and rocking and rolling. I was down here yesterday just making sure that this is a go. I got a seminar tomorrow, so I figured I might as well cut my drive from the Northwoods in half. We're going to be trolling shad style baits, Reef Runner 200s, and they are absolutely annihilating these things right now. I'll go ahead and link them down below. They got kind of a loud rattle in the eye, which is kind of cool. They got like the same Google eye that's like in the Google eye jig plus another rattle. Very loud, noisy bait for this dirty water. This time of year in the Mississippi River, you have the same thing kind of happening almost no matter where you go on these river systems this time of year. Essentially what you have happening is fish, you know, obviously spawning way upriver, and then they slowly migrate and push around out throughout the system this time of year. We have very high water and warming water. That normally does one thing in the river system, pushes fish to a bank. So we got water temps that are 65, 66 right now. And you have fish sliding out of the river, draining out into kind of Lake Pepin or wherever you might be, into the backwaters or things like that, and looking for places just out of the current where there's a lot of food, just to kind of feed heavy and ramp up. And they're feeding on a lot of stuff. These are small shad, small perch, whatever it might be. A lot of stuff that looks exactly like that. And today we're going to showcase a cool kind of trolling pattern where we are just going to go blazingly fast and catch a pile of fish. So stay tuned. We're going to get it going on. I'm excited. Number one, it's just beautiful down here. But number two, we're gonna catch a ton of fish on these baits today. And I'll go ahead and link this down below, like I said, if any of you guys want to check it out, because this bait has been absolutely on fire. And I'm sure today is going to be more of the same. I love it, man, right off the bat. Didn't even have the mic on yet. And it's crazy. This is what this pattern's all about. You're crazy close to shore. You're screaming. I maybe went 50 yards and had the first bite. It's a nice walleye to get things going. It's a nice walleye. And this is what this pattern's all about right here. We'll go into some of the specifics and some little things I've found that make a difference. Come here, buddy. Come here. It's a nice one. He's barely skin hooked. We'll put him in the old net here. We'll put him in the old net here. There we go. Number one, man. Which color is that? That's the Bright Fire Tiger 200 Reef Runner right there. And this is going to get a little interesting when it comes time for me to like start showing fish off, because we do not want to crash into shore. We'll get you popped off, buddy. There we go. Number one, nice 16 incher. Whoa, 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 he's on the ground. Nice 16, 17er if you're gonna keep one. And we're gonna catch 100 of these things today. If we had a clicker in the boat, which we don't, we would probably approach that number if we fished for long enough. But I mean, this is what's so cool about this pattern. Look at how close you can get to the bank, and it's where the fish are. You know, there's no reason to be way out, especially when you got a little wind like this today. It just looks like a good shallow kind of conditions day. Short line and crankbaits at high speed. Doesn't get any better. We're gonna get this guy out of the net real quick. I probably would not have netted that fish if it weren't for him just being barely hooked. There we go. That's a little bait right there. That one yesterday was absolutely on fire. Look at this, you guys. This is how it's gonna go today. This is how it's gonna go. This is gonna be a smaller sauger, or a shorter walleye or something here. Or perch. We got a perchy. The perch ate the perch bait. And this is this is what this is all about, dude. It's just gonna get to be extreme chaos here. But it's definitely one of those bites. If you wanna come out and just catch an absolute pile of fish, get a bunch of these smaller little 200s, and start blazing around and just catch a lot of fish. Oh, there we go. Right there. It's feeling a little better. That's feeling a little more right. Just slow us down and put us on the trolling motor for a second. Almost 3 miles an hour. So when they whack a bait at 3 miles an hour, there's a lot of force on that bait and a lot of pressure on the fish. Just keep the rod down so you don't blow them out of the water. Another important piece is the rod itself. This is the 7.2. I think it's a 7.2. 7.2 Tubby Fish and Genesis. It's a solid glass rod, so it loads a lot, and you need a big time shock absorber when you're fishing this fast and trolling. Oh yeah, it's in a real nice walleye here. Real nice fish. Where's my net at? That is what we're after, man. He came on that dark perch color. Oh, still moving fast. There we go, dude. I don't know how it gets better. I mean, just catching a pile of these fish. That's the nicest one of the day thus far. I'll go back into gear here and show them off to you guys. About a 20-inch fish, I'd say. About a 20-incher, and look at how he ate that thing, man. Holy cow. You think they want that thing? Let's get you popped off here, buddy. He's got some weeds on him. He's got some grass on him. Let's get you off, show you off, and get you back in the water. There we go, man. That is what it's all about right there. Speed trolling, up shallow, Mississippi River, smoking those little reef 200s, man. Beautiful fish down here. I absolutely love fishing this place. Very diverse system, a lot going on. We could put a pile of those in the boat today. It's all good with me. See you later, girl. This is definitely a day we could have used a co-pilot with me, but we will manage nonetheless. Fish. Oh yeah. We're back on. Just got about 3 12-inchers on that rod. Just got it back set out. And we are on again. Dude, I mean, the amount of fish we're dealing with is out of control. This is gonna be a video fish. Oh yeah, he's up top. Oh man, I absolutely love it. It's like the day flies by in a blink of an eye when you're fishing this way, because you're constantly dealing with something, either bumping in and out of this edge, switching the bait out, reeling in a fish. There we go, man. Nice fish here. Nice fish here. Another one on this little bit darker perch color. It's getting intense now. We wish we definitely had another person. Come here, bud. Oh yeah, that's another really nice one. Almost a cookie cutter to that last fish we caught. A little fatter even. And these fish get fat quick in the season, it seems like. Mississippi River just has so much bait in it that, you know, I always wonder why the fish like these baits so fast this time of year. And one thought I always had is because there's just so much bait in the system that everything else is just kind of, it doesn't stand out unless it's just flying, you know. There's my players here. I'll get you popped off. Have not had to switch a bait out yet or a color out, but sometimes it's worth doing just to see what you got going on. There we go. Fish is off. We're going right into a tree here. Got to stay out of the tree. We don't want anything to do with running the shiny new boat into a tree. But I mean, you guys can see how shallow we're fishing here. The rod tips are almost touching the tree limbs. I just got to get going in a straight line here so I can show this fish off. Film the actual video here. There we go, man. Look at that. Another perfect Mississippi River walleye, dude. How are you gonna beat it? And this is what this pattern is. Catching an absolute pile of fish, screaming those reef runners super fast. Super fun, and it's super unique, and that's my favorite part about it for sure. That it's a very cool bite to fish. It's not just effective, but it's interesting. It's like combat trolling, I guess you could call it. Oh, look at that. Seems all right. Seems all right. Come on, buddy. Don't be a sheep's head. Just be a nice 20-inch walleye. Not asking for much. Staying down. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. As long as it's not a sheep's head in the side. But don't tell me it's sheep's head in the side. Oh no, nice walleye. Oh, you're going so fast, it's just so much pressure on the fish. We're doubled up. So this is just getting out of control, obviously. All right, there's number one. There's number one. Should we see if we can do number two quick? We got such a small amount of line out. It's feeling like probably another nice walleye here. Oh yeah. We're having too much fun now. We're having too much fun now. I'm gonna hate myself for doing this, but I guess we could just stop the boat here. We have no lines left in the water. We'll go for the old double net. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh dude, what else do you say? I mean, that was just, this is how it's going. Two nice walleyes, smashing the reef runners, streaking shallow. It's one of my favorite bites. You know, being a Northern Lakes boy growing up, these patterns were very foreign to me years ago. And if that ain't the prettiest sight you've ever seen right there. Two beautiful walleyes, one on fire tiger, one on blue. That's what we're talking about right there. Let's show them off. Let's show them off. And look at that, man. How are you gonna beat that? Does it get any better than that right there? Out on the river, beautiful day, hammering walleye, speed trolling crankbaits. I'm having too much fun. I'm having way too much fun right now. See you later. Look at that. And they're all just perfect. It's about an 18.5-er right there. And these are the two baits doing all this maddening destruction. One important thing with a bait you're gonna fish when you're doing this pattern is you have to fish a bait that doesn't blow out. Some crankbaits will not run as good at high speed. Like when you start getting up to, 2.5, 3 miles an hour, somewhere in there. These ones do, and it's very important that the crankbaits are tuned properly to do this, obviously, and these ones are all hand tuned, so that obviously helps a lot. But make sure you're kind of running a shad bait. Make sure you're running a bait that has doesn't blow out of the water, and make sure you just got a few different colors. If I could only have a few, for sure, one would be something fire tigery, perchy. Other colors I've done good on is like some kind of blaze orange color. Otherwise, these are the two we're running right now. We had a different, little bit darker perch on that was catching fish too, but that is pretty much the deal. Rattles, also a very good thing this time of year. So let's do it again. This is a blast. Alrighty, well, we're just kind of looping through to do another quick little pass here. Whenever you're trolling, if you troll for miles and for only a 1/4 mile stretch you catch all your fish, there's obviously no point in continuing to troll a mile in that same area, right? But one tip that helps you out a lot, we have really high water, and any situation where you're really trolling where there's a lot of debris, one thing I always do is I'll put a 3-way swivel in my line. I don't use the 3-way, but it's a great debris catcher or weed catcher. So as I send this bait back, it doesn't impede the action. So One rod I got mono, one rod I got braid. If I'm fishing a lot of current, I like fishing the braid. If I'm fishing like less current, I like fishing the mono. But the main thing is you have a rod that's very shock absorbing. Like this 7.2. Is it 7.2 or 7.3? I want to make sure I got it right. 2B 7.2 moderate fast action rod. Moderate is what you want. Glass rod or a big composite rod. Look at me, it's just ridiculous here. Is what you want for this style of fishing. Because obviously one like this, it doesn't matter too much. Because this is a small sheep's head or a white bass. But when some of those 20, 22s or bigger fish really whack a crankbait going 2.8, 3.25 miles an hour, you need that shock absorption. That is extremely important. Running that little 3-way in there keeps my baits running cleaner for longer, because there's nothing worse, obviously, than trolling a long ways and maybe just this rod catches fish and reeling that one in going, oh, dang it, I had a leaf on there, right? So that's kind of the setup we're fishing. The mono rod, I just got 10-pound mono. The braid rod, just 10-pound braid, and then a fluorocarbon leader. But you can definitely get away with just running mono out here. The reason I like fishing the braid in heavy current is if you're trolling into heavy current, it cuts that dive curve a lot. So you end up running a lot of line out with mono if you're trolling heavy current to achieve depth, where with braid it slices that water because it's so much thinner and gets down a lot faster. So that is kind of the setup. Oh, look at that, right there. He's pulling, he's pulling. Feeling all right if it's a walleye here. Right up on the bank, dude. And when I said this, right off the bat, I was like, I like unique walleye bites. Where else can you go and do this, man? Where else can you go and fish like this? And that's what makes it so cool. Just another really nice fish here. Super nice one on the old Fire Tiger. God, is that a fat one? They are eating right out here, man. They are eating right. There it is for sure. That little bait is on fire. That is for sure. I'll show them off real quick. Just perky, man. Just also fat and chubby. I mean, literally perfect eaters. If you wanted to catch 100 walleyes in a day, this is the pattern for sure. Line lengths, pretty much 30 to 45 feet. Nothing too crazy. Not a planer board deal. It's just literally a very simple style of fishing for sure. Maybe we'll do a little talking piece on kind of what we're seeing on the graph and things like that, and kind of how I'm tracing the bank essentially, because that's really the only piece of the puzzle that could maybe use some explaining, I guess. All right, guys, so basically where we're trolling, super simple, right? Not a ton to it, but we'll throw up a screenshot right here. Now there's a ton of trash fish, sheep's head, white bass, whatever else, carp, there's everything in these systems. But being around life's definitely a good thing. We're around just a whole bunch of everything here. But the thing to notice about this screenshot is this riprap that comes out off the bank. You can see it ends right on the track of the boat. Half of it's off my right side, half of it's off my left side. So I'm running this little edge. As the water's high right now, I can sneak way up in here and get close to this edge. If the water was not as high, I'd be out off of it a little bit more, or I'd have to shorten up and get just even shallower, cast into that edge. But this riprap comes down and it kind of hits about 6-7 feet, and then it gets flat and turns to sand and slowly tapers. And I'm just trolling that edge right where it goes from sand on this side of the boat to riprap right here as that riprap bank comes down. And those fish are definitely congregated on that edge and very tight to the bank. So I'm not just like snaking my way around as much as I am just pasting myself to this edge and then just trolling right down it really fast. And you're pretty much gonna see fish kind of everywhere you go, but it's definitely one thing it's nice to have somebody on the tiller, or if you have a wheel boat, somebody on the wheel. With a tiller, obviously I can adjust like super fast on the fly. I also have the trolling motor down, so if I gotta like whip the bow back in real fast, basically all you'd have to do is just turn it up, turn it sideways, and you can see how fast like the boat shifts if I'm gonna like adjust that way, right? So that's kind of the program. Boat control is important to pace yourself to it and keep that speed going pretty quick. The other thing is just make sure you're kind of right on that edge, and then the speed's just all 2.5 to basically 3.25 miles an hour. It's kind of how fast I'm going with these reef runners all over the place here. We're going to move spots just for fun. I'm sure we could just keep trolling the same shoreline all day long and just keep catching the same amount of fish, right? But for fun, let's do a little moving around. Also, as long as I'm thinking about it right now, and we got the actual wireless on. Shirts, we got a bunch of stuff in stock. We got reorders of stuff. Thanks to you guys buying it all up. We greatly appreciate it. But Contour Fishing Clothing Co. This has been my pretty much favorite one that I am grinding in every day. I feel like the crew neck camo, American flag, walleye. You guys know what's up. The other one, which has been incredibly popular, as it's getting a little warmer out now, we got the Sims Contour Fishing. Now you guys can hear me. We got the Sims Contour Fishing Clothing Co. special Sims sun shirt, which is pretty much the best sun shirt known to man. And I have been wearing Sims stuff now for probably like 5 years. Best clothing, best stuff, hands down. And now we're fortunate enough to have it with the Contour Fishing logo on the back. So a bunch of stuff in stock. Sun shirts pretty much. I probably have like 15 of these sun shirts. And I wear one every single day from now until probably September when it starts cooling down again. Yesterday I made the mistake of not wearing pants and wearing shorts and absolutely scorched my legs. The first shorts day of the season was not a good experience, but today at least it's a little bit cooler and a little bit more windy out, which is all good with me. So let's do some driving around, pick up a few more fish. Right there. Well, if you control them, why couldn't you cast them, right? At least that's what I was thinking. Nice walleye. Nice walleye here. Take them like that. We're gonna spot lock down for a second. You know, in some of these areas where you troll through them and there's just a mountain of fish, why not cast, right? Why not just sit there and cast the crankbait? And there we go. Look at that guy right there. We'll take him, man. I believe that color is called Wild Fang. And it seems like anything with a little chartreuse in it, or that blue one, is definitely money. There's a nice 17-incher right there. Chuck in the crankbait and winding it very fast to try to replicate that trolling pattern and just blaze by some of the sheep's head and other stuff that might be around. Right there. Fish on. Oh, made a little movement. Instead of just trolling right next to the shoreline, we're just in 7 feet of water out off this little flat here that I just was gonna rake into the shoreline. Feeling all right, feeling all right. And it is crazy to me how fast you can go and get bit there this time of year. I mean, you go a lot of places this time of year. Oh yeah, nice. It's either a walleye or a sauger. There's a lot of places you go and, you know, this time of year you're thinking like, all right, got to go slow and finessey. Not here. I think it's a nice little sauger, nice little 17-inch sauger here. Oh yeah, that is exactly what it is. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. See if he'll flip on in without coming off. He's chin hooked. Ooh. Oh man, river sauger right there. That is about as fun a morning as I think you can have. And this is exactly what I was assuming this video was going to be. Absolute pile of walleyes, a couple saugers in the mix. It's just speed trolling, super fast, super aggressive on the old Reef Runner 200. So I don't know, I mean, we could literally do this all day long and just keep catching a whole bunch of fish like this, but we might save it. I might have my dad come out here with me this afternoon so he can reel in a few of these fish on this pattern. But yeah, that's kind of the deal. I appreciate you guys watching this one. I am on a road trip for several days now. Tomorrow I have a seminar in Mankato, Minnesota. Then following that, we're going somewhere else. So we'll see where we end up, but I appreciate you guys watching. I like mixing up content. I don't like staying in one lake for too long because it gets repetitive. So I always like moving around for you guys. But that was the bait, Reef Runner 200. Link in description below. That was was the program. Speed trolling, pile of fish. Check everything out in the description below. We'll see you guys next time.